Hello and welcome to part 2 of Design a Garment from Scratch in CLO. In this part we will do a hoodie, and for that we would need the shirt from part 1, so if you don't have that, go back and watch part 1. So at first we will start with the hood, and I start with the polygon, and we try to shape like the hood. Again, it don't needs to be perfect on the first try. You can adjust the lines and the curves afterwards, but it should look like this. But you can see I also need to make some changes, and I also need to make it a bit bigger. But now I will just place it with the arrangement points and click Ctrl D to duplicate my hood pattern, and then saw it together and saw it on my back part and on the front part, and I will do it a bit overlapping in the front because that will look really good. And now we can simulate and see if everything fits well. But you can directly see we need to make the pattern a bit bigger, but that's really no problem. So I just click over pattern and scale that a bit up and drag it out of her ear because that's a pain point. But now it looks fine, also a bit with the curvature tool. And then we can put it back and right click strengthen to give it a better look. And now I show you something which looks really cool. We can click on both patterns with right click and do the lay clone under thing. So we have a 2-layered hood, and that looks really much more realistic. And the best tip is here that you click with the edit sewing tool on this sewing type and turn the turned function off. So we don't want the seams to be turned, we want them to be on 180 degree together. We can decrease the particle distance for a better look, and here you can see what I mean. It looks much thicker and much more realistic. So the next step is we delete these little points here and make the sleeve longer. I always do this step by step, so it stays on the arms of my avatar. Make it even a bit longer. So I guess the sleeves are long enough, and now we do with the rectangle tool a new pattern piece for the cuffs of the sleeve. We do it much more smaller than the sleeve to get the tight and sloppy look, and we change the properties to elastic. Then right click in the 3D window and superimpose side, and then we can simulate. What I do now is also again Ctrl D to duplicate our cuff on the other side, and I will do the shrinkage weft on like 80 or 90% to give it a more sloppy look here. And now I just do with the curvature tool a bit of more sloppy look. So I make the sleeves a bit wider and a bit more rounded in the inner seam. And now we do a second pattern piece. It's like the same height as your cuffs. It's for the body part. And we also make it really tight for the oversized sloppy look. And we sew it onto the front part, onto the back part, superimpose side, and then we can simulate. Now I'm just making the front part also a bit bigger, and also the side seam a bit curved on the front part and also on the back part. And as always in CLO, you just need to pull a bit the garment, the sleeves, until you get the desired look and it looks like you imagined. So it looks good, and for the last part we will also do some internal lines. So it's not just everything gray, we also want a design. So with the polygon line tool we make these lines, and then right click and cut and sew, and we give it another color. And also the inner layer of our hood. And that's it. And here's another little trick. It looks more realistic if you make the seams a bit more visible. So we go with the added sewing on all the seams and increase the intensity of the normal map to 200. And yeah, that's our hoodie. I hope you like it, and stay tuned for the next part.